I'm calling in the creator to the CEO who crave creating community and cash to create it like a boss. With me, Katrina Julia, as your host, multi-passionate entrepreneur, creator, and CEO who has walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and continues to, with experience in 7+ industries, 7,000 plus creators and startups, 2 creators to Fortune 500 brands, including Google, NBC, Victoria's Secret, and more. If you are ready to create it like never before in faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, travel, and more, this is the show for you. If this is your time to have freedom in all forms as you create it like a boss, let's create it.
Welcome back. I asked creators how they reached their first 10K month. Here's what they said. I've always been fascinated by the real creator stories and, in general, behind big milestones, especially that pivotal first or when it first worked, and that first 10K month as a creator, as a coach, as a CEO. So I decided to go straight to the source, to creators and CEOs. And I asked thousands of creators on featured.com how they got there, what actually worked, the mindset shifts that made it possible, the income streams that got them paid and kept it consistent. From SEO pros and franchise founders to SaaS builders and affiliate marketers, their stories are full of gold. I opened up the conversations on featured.com and invited creators to share how they make 10K months. As a multi-passionate creator and CEO, freedom is one of my core values in life, in business, and how I create. If you haven't tuned in yet or read on the blog on my 7 ways multi-passionate entrepreneurs make money and 7 ways to make 7K in 7 days, you definitely want to tune in where I share. So I started wondering, how did creators reach their first 10? So I started wondering, hashtag blooper, how did creators reach their first 10K months? I turned to thousands of these creators on feature.com like I did before on episodes and blog posts like creator lessons, what creators want brands to know, and how creators use AI. So if you haven't listened to those episodes or read those insights and wisdom on the blog, you definitely want to check those out. From digital nomads and creators and influencers to coaches to CEOs, and asked, tell me your story of reaching your 10K month and what it took to stay there. Your number one mindset shift, tool, or needle mover that got you there. Your top source of creator income, or top 3 if you have multiple streams. So you already know I'm all about creating like a boss if you've tuned in before. If not, welcome to where we create it like a boss. So I got curious. What if I asked these creators? No fluff, no hype, just stories, shifts, and results. From creators turning chaos into clarity and content into cash. From wellness coaches and podcasters to course creators and CEOs, these creators are creating it like a boss in 2025. Whether it's in content creation, digital marketing, real estate, these creators spill the tea. What did they find? Mindset shifts, creative consistency, income stability. If you've been wondering how to reach 10K months and beyond, this is for you. Let's dive into what creators all around the world have to say. Content creation and education. Content isn't just marketing, it's curriculum in action. Johan Anselm. When I first crossed 10K month, it wasn't a sudden leap, but a steady climb through building scalable educational programs. I focused on designing multilingual SEO campaigns that consistently brought in students and partnerships, which gave me sustainable visibility across Europe and Asia. The biggest mindset shift was realizing that content wasn't just marketing, it was curriculum in action, showing credibility across cultures. In my case, the strongest income stream comes from diversified memberships and cultural associations paired with consulting for education startups. My advice? Invest time in creating digital assets that speak multiple languages, both literally and strategically, because they keep paying dividends long after the launch. I thought innovation would drive growth, but distribution was just as critical. Runbo Lee. Reaching 10K month with Magic Hour happened right after we tightened our pricing tiers and leaned into partnerships in sports and media. I used to think growth was all about rapid feature building, but my biggest mindset shift was realizing distribution is just as important as innovation. Whether new creators ask about scaling, Whenever new creators ask about scaling, I tell them to test their ceiling with one audience before chasing the next. Our video to video edits that crossed 200 million views translated directly into conversations with clients, and that flywheel basically sustained our revenue. Our top income drivers are a mix of enterprise contracts, business to consumer subscriptions for content editing, and collaboration with media partners. Emily Given, delegation became my superpower and my 10K foundation. When I first crossed 10K per month, I felt like such a huge milestone. At the time, I thought that was making it. But what really shifted things for me was realizing that 10K months weren't the finish line, they were the foundation. Once I built the right systems and gave myself permission to stop doing it all, growth started to compound in a way I never expected. The biggest mindset shift was letting go of the idea that I had to hold everything together myself. For years, I believed my value as a founder came from being the one who carried it all. And then delegation became my superpower. When I started focusing only on the thing that only I could do and handed the rest to people who were just as capable, if not better, at those specific things, my business finally had the space to scale. Fast forward to today, and my company now consistently generating 80K plus months. That structure looks a little different, but the principles are the same. My virtual executive assistant agency provides steady, reoccurring revenue. Coaching and consulting gives me a chance to pour into entrepreneurs who are ready to step out of the weeds themselves. And digital products, toolkits, workshops, frameworks allow me to share what I've learned at scale without adding more hours to my week. What I've learned along the way is that growth is not about chasing every new tactic or trying to be everywhere at once. It's about clarity, courage, and strong systems to release the things that were never meant to stay on your plate. That's how you get to 10K months. That's also how you keep going until 80K months become the new normal. We didn't chase virality, we built real relationships that scaled us to a $1 billion valuation. Brandon Brown. At Grin, crossing 10K a month was less about a single tactic and more about turning meaningful creator relationships into an engine for revenue. My mindset shift was moving from transactional thinking to creating community at scale, which carried us through cycles and raised us to a $1 billion valuation. Now my top income streams are split between leading search party, publishing my generative growth newsletter, and strategic advisory work with brands navigating AI-driven marketing transformation. The content is the operational manual, illustrious espiritu. A lot of aspiring creators think that to scale, they have to be a master of a single channel, like content virality, but that's a huge mistake. A creator's job isn't to be a master of a single function. Their job is to be a master of the entire business. My story of reaching and maintaining the 10K a month threshold was a shift from selling generic advice to selling verifiable, actionable operational solutions. I achieved stability by embedding my content directly into the customer's problem-solving workflow. The number one mindset shift that got me there was realizing that the content is the operational manual. I stopped creating content for views and started creating specialized, heavy-duty technical guides. The needle mover was tying my most critical training packages to a 12-month warranty on the knowledge itself. My top source of income is high-value niche consulting / training packages focused on OEM Cummins operational efficiency, not passive ad revenue. The impact this had was profound. It changed my approach from being a good marketing person to a person that could lead an entire business. I learned that the best content in the world is a failure if the operational team can't deliver on the promise. The best way to be a leader is to understand every part of the business. My advice is stop thinking of content as a separate feature. You have to see it as part of a larger, more complex system. The best creators are the ones who speak the language of operations and who understand the entire business. That's a business that's positioned for success. My audience attention became my most valuable currency. Nicholas Schlapsna. I remember when I first hit the 10K per month milestone as a digital creator. It felt both exhilarating and overwhelming. It was the culmination of months of experimentation, content refinement, and understanding what resonated with my audience. Early on, I made the mistake of chasing trends instead of focusing on building a core value proposition that aligned with my expertise and audience needs. Once I shifted my focus to consistency, storytelling, and providing actionable insights, growth became more practical. Staying at that level required discipline, regular analysis of engagement metrics, and a willingness to adapt when content strategies weren't performing as expected. The mindset shift that truly unlocked growth was realizing that my audience's attention was my most valuable currency. This meant treating every piece of content as an opportunity to deliver value rather than merely promoting myself. I also embraced tools that help streamline my workflow, from AI assisted content drafting to scheduling platforms that allowed me to maintain a consistent posting cadence across multiple channels. One particular insight that moved the needle was creating a content framework that repurposed core ideas into multiple formats, allowing me to reach different segments of my audience without constantly generating new material from scratch. Another factor that contributed significantly was building meaningful relationships with my audience through authentic engagement. Responding thoughtfully to comments, conducting live sessions, and sharing personal experiences allowed me to cultivate trust and loyalty. Over time, these interactions reinforced my authority and credibility in the area while creating a feedback loop that informed future content. The lesson I share with other creators is to invest time in understanding audience needs deeply, leverage technology to scale without sacrificing quality, and focus on consistent value delivery. By approaching growth strategically and iteratively, hitting and sustaining 10K per month becomes less of a lucky breakthrough and more of a predictable outcome. Media, content, and personal brand monetization. Social media isn't a marketing tool, it's your media company. Winnie Sun. I crossed 10K per month by building my media presence into a monetizable asset rather than just posting content. After 20 years in financial services, I realized my trending business tweet chats, averaging 150 million weekly impressions, weren't just engagement, they were my distribution engine. The breakthrough mindset was treating social media as a media company, not a marketing tool. I stopped selling financial advice and started creating valuable content that positions me as the trusted voice my audience turns to. When CNBC invited me to their financial advisor council and Forbes started featuring my contributions, it wasn't luck, it was systematic content strategy paying off. My income streams flow from this media foundation: speaking fees for keynote presentations at national events, brands partnerships as a spokesperson for travel and lifestyle companies, and my podcast monetization through sponsorships. The speaking circuit alone commands premium rates because I'm not just another financial advisor, I'm the wealth whisperer with proven audience reach. The real game changer was packaging my expertise into multiple content formats across platforms. My weekly live streams on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, plus hosting shows on Amazon Fire TV and Roku, create reoccurring touch points that convert into high value opportunities without me chasing clients. Visibility creates opportunity and positioning builds trust. Kristen Marquet. I built my business Femme Founder from the ground up with a focus on helping femme entrepreneurs and digital creators through PR, branding, and digital products. Early on, I focused on high ticket services like brand workshops and PR retainers, which gave me the revenue base to hit 10K plus per month. Over time, I diversified my offerings by adding scalable digital products, which allowed me to maintain that revenue while working fewer hours and serving more people. The real challenge wasn't just hitting 10K plus per month, but sustaining it consistently, which required streamlining my systems, tightening my messaging, and creating a business model that balanced one on one services with passive income streams. The biggest mindset shift that helped me get there was realizing that visibility creates opportunity. For years, I stayed behind the scenes, focused solely on client success. Once I started putting myself out there through PR, podcasts, and personal branding, everything changed. It wasn't just about marketing my services, it was about positioning myself as a thought leader, which built trust, reach, and attracted higher quality clients and customers. Today, my top sources of creator income are high ticket services through my agency Curated Perception, formerly Marquee Media, digital products through FemFounder, which empower women entrepreneurs to take control of their visibility, and brand workshops for growing businesses ready to elevate their positioning. Blending services with scalable offers and a strong personal brand, I've been able to grow sustainably while staying aligned with my mission to help women build bold, profitable businesses. I didn't chase money, I followed curiosity and created consistency. Nick Urban. My journey to 10K plus per month began as a COVID quarantine side project. For years, friend had asked me to share my health and wellness notes, but I wrote them in shorthand that only I understood. Quarantine gave me the push to translate those ideas into long-form content online. I committed to publishing 3 articles per week, and by year's end, I had published over 100,000 words. That consistency created my foundation. I didn't earn my first dollar until the end of the year through Amazon's influencer program. From there, growth was exponential. A dollar became 2, then 100, then eventually 1,000. By late 2021, even after cutting back to publishing 1 new article per week, I was consistently making over 10K a month. All the while, I wanted access to the experts publishing the research I kept reading about. So instead of paying their $750 per hour consulting fees, I launched a podcast where I interviewed them and asked the same questions, all while developing other key skills. The number one needle mover was following my own curiosity rather than chasing money. I didn't set out to start a business. I wanted to clarify my own thinking and help others. I would have quit well before publishing 100,000 words if I only did it for the money. Today, my top income streams are number 1, affiliate marketing, sharing products I genuinely use and recommend. It's a win-win-win. Brands gain exposure, readers get discounts, and I earn a commission. Number 2, coaching, working with clients to cut through complexities and personalize health strategies. Information is abundant, but lifestyle change is what drives transformation. Number 3, podcast sponsorships, an additional layer that extends my reach and deepens community engagement. For me, sustainability came from curiosity and consistency. The more I focused on creating genuine value, the more the business took care of itself. Tech and AI driven services. AI didn't just improve our services, it transformed how we scale. Will Melton. When the chips were down during my early agency days, leaning into AI SEO was the clear winner that pushed us past 10K months and beyond. The needle mover was shifting my mindset from serving clients in a traditional ad hoc way to building scalable AI-powered communication systems. Today, my top income sources are agency services through Exponent 21, speaking engagements on AI branding, and partnerships that expand my reach into leadership and tech networks. Recognition isn't about names, it's about emotional ownership. Chase McKee. I hit consistent 10K monthly revenue at Rocket Alumni Solutions by flipping the traditional donor recognition model completely upside down. Instead of static plaques that collect dust, we created interactive touchscreen displays that make every contributor feel like a rock star in real time. The game-changing mindset shift was recognizing that recognition isn't about displaying names, it's about creating emotional ownership. When we started featuring donor testimonials and personal stories on our interactive displays, our donor retention rate jumped dramatically and we hit 2.4 million annualized recurring revenue. People don't just give money, they invest in belonging to something bigger. My revenue comes from 3 streams. Number 1, interactive touchscreen software licensing to schools and nonprofits. Number 2, digital record board systems for athletic departments. And 3, custom recognition display solutions for corporate. The touchscreen software became our flagship because it solved a problem I personally experienced. My high school chin-up record got erased from a whiteboard after 1 week. The key was building something that makes an invisible impact visible. Our displays show real time progress and automatically re rank achievements so no one's contribution ever gets forgotten, lost, or erased. When donors can see their impact and story preserved forever, they become vocal ambassadors who bring in new supporters. About 40% of new donors at partner schools come through existing supporter referrals. Custom work kept us stuck. SaaS gave us room to grow. Ibrahim Al Nabelsi. Scaling Preslab past 10K plus per month came after we committed to transitioning into a SaaS model, which meant endless late nights testing automations and refining our CRM. What moved the needle the most was focusing on repeatable systems instead of chasing custom one off projects, since that gave us breathing room to grow. Right now, the bulk of income is driven by SaaS subscriptions, but consulting and enterprise partnerships round out the mix. Most businesses focus on driving more traffic, but the gold is in converting what you already have. Kiel Tredrea. I hit 10K plus per month consistently by building Red 27 creative around one core principle: identify anonymous website visitors and convert them into paying clients. The breakthrough came when I realized most businesses are hemorrhaging potential revenue from visitors who browse their sites but never convert. The biggest needle mover was developing our Reveal revenue system that tracks anonymous website visitors even when they're working from home or personal devices. We can identify up to 60% of anonymous traffic and turn them into qualified leads with full contact details. This single shift transformed how I approached client acquisition. My top revenue streams are: number one, website visitor identification and lead generation services; two, comprehensive SEO and digital marketing campaigns; and three, social media content creation with conversion optimization. The visitor identification service alone has become a game changer because it captures leads that would otherwise be completely lost. The mindset shift that changed everything was stopping the chase for new traffic and instead maximizing the value of existing web visitors. Most businesses focus on driving more traffic when they should focus on converting the traffic they already have. Customer acquisition isn't a metric, it's the engine. Louis Ducre. The main thing that got us to 10K plus per month and beyond was focusing on our customer acquisition cost, CAC. The focus was the real needle mover. By optimizing CAC, we achieved positive unit economics early on, which meant every customer we acquired generated enough margin to reinvest back into marketing. This created a compounding cycle: lower CAC, better margins, more reinvestment, more customers. For us, the top source of income has always been selling policies online, and CAC became the cornerstone metric guiding every decision. My advice for other creators and founders is to resist the temptation to spread attention across too many metrics in the early stages. If you can make customer acquisition efficient and profitable, you'll have the foundation to scale sustainably. Product market fit beats every vanity metric every time. Bennett Hain. When I launched Backliner AI in 2023, hitting 10K plus per month felt like a major milestone. But the real work was keeping momentum steady. I've lost count of the times leaning into product market fit over vanity metrics rescued a launch when a new feature didn't land as planned. Our main driver of income now is monthly reoccurring revenue from clients who rely on our AI powered outreach, which consistently brings in over 20K plus per month. Simplify the buyer's journey and demand will follow. Joe Davies. At Fat Joe, hitting 10K plus per month was a byproduct of treating SEO services like products on Amazon: easy to buy, clear in scope, and repeatable at scale. I've watched this model wipe out the complexity that scared agencies away from outsourcing before, which opened us up to massive demand. The most powerful shift for me was realizing that simplifying the buyer's journey mattered more than showcasing expertise. Today, our primary sources of income come from link building campaigns, content creation, and ongoing SEO subscription services. My suggestion to creators is remove friction whenever you can. Clarify what you offer. Clarity in what you offer often outpaces flashy marketing for long-term revenue. Reliable systems beat flashy features every time. Carl Threadgold. When I first pushed Thread Gold Consulting past 10K plus per month, it wasn't from a flashy launch, but from consistently refining how we help SaaS clients streamline workflows with NetSuite. The biggest shift was realizing that reliability builds more trust than features alone. Time after time, when clients faced chaos in scaling, workflow automation had my back in keeping us indispensable. Our top revenue source comes from ERP consulting and recurring retainers that now make up the steady baseline. If I had one suggestion, it is to focus deeper on long term value creation rather than quick wins. It compounds faster than you think. Solve one pain point really well, and scale becomes simple. Or Moshe. When I crossed the 10K plus per month mark with Tivelo, the biggest lever was leaning into a focus. Shopify creators who wanted a frictionless way to sell digital products without leaving their store. Focusing there gave us consistent growth and simplified messaging. I'd say the number one shift was realizing I didn't need to build every feature possible. Instead, I doubled down on what solved the main pain point. Our income is primarily SaaS subscriptions with add-ons like onboarding and custom integrations, adding steady secondary streams. Master one pain point so well that every other option feels outdated. Sandro Kratz. With TutorBase, reaching 10K plus per month came once we stopped trying to be all things to all educators and doubled down on solving their biggest pain point, managing admin work. Working in SaaS, I've seen countless founders burn by bloat, so our shift to AI-powered scheduling was the needle mover. From coffee chats with language school owners to meeting with investors, everyone nodded when I said we cut workloads by 50%. Today, the majority of our revenue flows from SaaS subscriptions, supported by premium support packages and integration features. My suggestion to other creators: master one pain point so thoroughly that alternatives feel outdated overnight. Revenue stability comes when we stop chasing spikes and created repeatable systems. Sri Krishna Shrikintan. When we first hit 10K per month at Finofo, it wasn't from one big win, but from compounding small moves tighter, campaigns, clear positions, and a stronger partner network. The moment we standardized on a SaaS first focus for small businesses, our pipeline went from unpredictable to more reliable. I had to shift from obsessing over short term revenue spikes to building repeatable systems, which felt slower but paid off quickly. Our biggest needle mover was investing time into refining the product story so prospects connected with value faster. Today, our income source largely comes from recurring SaaS subscriptions, with consulting style add ons being a secondary stream. Industry specialization. Specializing in one area created predictable long term growth. Josiah Lipsmeyer. When I first hit 10K per month at Plastics, it was a result of focusing our focus to healthcare and cosmetic professionals instead of trying to serve everyone. Day to day, fixing marketing confusion almost always meant turning to data driven SEO and personalized campaigns, which created predictable results for clients. My biggest income driver is still long term agency retainers, but we've layered in consulting and niche influencer partnerships to keep growth steady. Referrals flow from real service, not slick sales. Joel Jansen. I crossed the 10K plus per month mark when I stopped trying to do everything myself and leaned into community I trust. By being transparent with homeowners and showing up consistently, referrals started fueling most of my deals. The mindset shift was realizing that real estate is less about chasing transactions and more about serving people in tough circumstances, which in turn created a steady flow of opportunities. Today, my main income streams are property flips, where we focus on fair offers and solid design updates, direct to seller cash purchases that solve urgent needs, and a growing rental portfolio that adds predictable monthly stability. Trust builds deal flow, not just tactics. Parker McInnes. Breaking 10K plus per month in real estate came when I shifted from treating each deal as a win or bust event to focus on building strong, reliable relationships with seller and partners. The football lessons of teamwork and preparation translated straight into business. My biggest needle mover was investing in local networking and community events, which led to one-off led to off-market deals others never saw and repeat opportunities. Today, most of my income streams come from flipping properties, direct to seller purchases, and select rental units. Prioritizing trust and making sure every client truly feels heard has kept the momentum going month after month. I stopped guessing and let the data find the deals. Casey Ryan. I scaled to 10K monthly by treating real estate as an engineering problem, creating systems that identified undervalued properties in specific Las Vegas neighborhoods through data analysis rather than gut feelings. My biggest needle movers was implementing our SMS marketing campaigns when competitors were still using direct mail, which allowed me to reach distressed sellers faster and negotiate better terms. My top income sources are cash purchases of distressed properties where I average about 20K plus profit, my growing rental portfolio that provides steady monthly income, and strategic partnerships with local investors where I contribute my analysis expertise for a percentage of the profits without needing my own capital. I stopped hustling and started scaling with systems that run while I sleep. Jasper Cool. Scaling to 10K monthly took me from cold calling 24/7 to building systems that work while I sleep. The critical mindset shift was embracing delegation. I went from doing everything myself to hiring virtual assistants globally who handle most operations while I focused on strategy. My top income source is real estate wholesaling through SMS marketing, which consistently generates 6 to 8 deals monthly, averaging 25,000 plus. I built this entirely remotely, running my North Carolina ops from Arizona, proving location independence is possible when you prioritize systems over hustle. I stopped following the mission and started creating it. Anthony Warren. My transition from a 14-year Army career to real estate was intense, but I hit the 10K month mark by applying military mission planning to my business. I focused on serving the community I knew best, helping fellow vets and families facing sudden PCS moves. The biggest shift was learning to create the mission myself instead of just executing orders. I had to use my strategic training to define my objectives, which became solving complex homeowner problems with integrity. Today, my income comes from strategic and flips that improve neighborhoods, wholesaling properties to other investors, and creating financing solutions that provide flexibility to sellers. I stopped chasing deals and started serving people. Jeremy Schuler. I realized 10 I reached 10K monthly by combining my 25 years of construction experience with real estate investing. But the real breakthrough came when I stopped chasing deals and started serving my community as a ministry-minded entrepreneur. The game-changing shift was treating every transaction and every interaction as an opportunity to genuinely help people, whether through my hybrid brokerage model or investment services. This integrity-first approach created a referral engine that now drives most of my business. My income streams include brokerage commissions from Kitsap Home Pro, property investments where my construction background gives me huge advantage in accurately estimating costs, and consulting services where I help other investors avoid costly renovation mistakes. Franchise SEO and scalable systems. Growth came when I stopped chasing shortcuts and started creating systems. Justin Herring. Hitting 10K a month didn't just happen overnight. It really came after focusing on consistent SEO systems instead of chasing shortcuts. For me, the mindset shift was realizing that scaling wasn't about doing everything, but about doubling down on what worked. Local SEO plus a strong remote team to execute. Our main source of income is client retainers, and the stability from that model that kept our growth steady month after month. I stopped operating I stopped operating everything and started creating what others couldn't replicate. Bennett Maxwell. For me, hitting and maintaining 10K plus per month happened back when scaling Dirty Dough, because I treated growth like a repeatable playbook, not a one-time push. Every system I built, from franchise sales to training, was designed so others could replicate my results. The key mindset shift was shifting from operator to builder, meaning I had to lead structures instead of doing everything myself. Today, my top income channels are business exits, franchise development, and consulting high growth founders through Franchise KI. There's no one way to make 10K months. If you didn't get anything else from this, that is it. But there is a pattern. From real estate pros to SaaS founders to creators to SEO specialists to personal brand builders, one truth echoed across every story. Sustainable 10K months come from clarity, creating a mindset shift, and systems from hustler to builder, or from creator to CEO. Whether they leverage content as curriculum, turn community into currency, or automated what used to drain their time, each creator found their needle mover by doubling down on what worked for them. Here's what this means for you. You don't need to do it all, just what compounds. You don't need to chase traffic, just convert what you have. You don't need to go viral, just go deep on value. And what's interesting is that often leads to virality. Now it's your time to create it. Click on the link in the show notes at bit.ly/create it like a boss and jump into the creator circle, the creator cash toolkit, creator school, or come create with me in real life at creator retreats. If you've hit your first 10K month or you're on the edge of it and you're ready to share your story with the global creator opportunity, I would love to hear from you. Submit via media opportunities at bit.ly/FLC influencer and start with the media section with the creator snapshot to be considered. And leave a review on the show and your Instagram handle and or your website. I would love to shout you out. And as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire because you are born to.